Hello, hello. How's the food? Yeah? I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know, unfortunately, that you are not done yet, but I do encourage you all to get up and get seconds. We also have tea and coffee and baklava over there, so please help yourself. We will continue with the program, but please continue to eat. Don't let it get stuck in your throat. um, yeah. So the Northside Learning Center is truly a place that community members can go to and know that someone will be there to help them. But even further than that, to be a friend and to guide them in a time of uncertainty. And next up, I'll be inviting the man that makes all of that happen, that's there 24/7. If he's not there, then he's doing something for the center, Mr. Mark.
Thank you, Khadijah. Thank you all. So happy that you're all here. I want to welcome you. The theme of my talk, and we'll get to that in a minute, is resilience. And I think it's appropriate even for tonight. I appreciate your patience. So we're going to make sure the PowerPoint works. All right. No, I just want to thank you all again, supporters, friends, volunteers. It's a beautiful room, and I think that's really kind of the heart of Northside Learning Center. Fortunately, Brother Yusuf said a lot of things, so we're a little behind schedule that would have fallen on mine or Bryce's plate, but I thought he said them so eloquently, we'll move forward. So my role right now is to give you an organizational update of what's happened. Typically, it would be, kind of a 1 year from dinner to dinner, but this is now 3 years since because of COVID. So I'm going to be going a little further back than that. So anyway, please stay with me. Oh. So this idea of resilience, I think when COVID came, we initially closed down for about a month and did what we thought was the right thing to do, was reach out, find out what people needed. And we had some amazing young leaders, 11 of them, who just called and said, what do you need? And we also determined what did they need to know. But unlike most organizations, Northside Learning Center really responded much earlier. So we've been in person really since July of 2020 on space basis, on stretching out the schedule, keeping the numbers down, having volunteers join us virtually. But I think the thing that got Northside through it was resilience, and obviously families that make it through the refugee resettlement process need a lot of determination, a lot of patience, a lot of resilience, and that's before they even get here. So we were able to draw on that. And so, resilient families, resilient staff, resilient organization. And in reflecting back on a year of virtual learning, we saw significant learning gaps. As hard as everybody tried, with very little time, teachers had to try to teach in a different way, students had to try to live in a different way, many of our families had to try to learn in very busy households with many people and not always great internet connections. So that was one of the ways we responded, was opening our doors, spreading people out, giving them internet access, giving them a quiet place to go. But fast forward till this past year, we knew that many, many, many of the students, in fact, the students would tell us, Mr. Mark, I didn't learn anything last year. I didn't learn anything, and yet they were graduating and going on to college. And so fortunately, we had put in place a intensive college prep program anyway, and we had some amazing teachers. Students came 4 to 5 days a week during the day. They took math and English classes, and that was the goal, really, to help prepare recent grads to go to OCC and be able to get English and math credits by the end of their freshman year. So we had this intensive summer program. Went very well. Students worked very hard. Staff worked very hard. But we were still a little concerned. And Joyce Suslovic, who had taught the summer program, along with another teacher, Alfredo Gomez, from Nottingham High School, realized that this is going to be a struggle. And so with the help of the John Ben Snow Foundation, we were able to put together an intensive support piece for the fall and now spring. So for any of you who know Miss S, as she's known, we said we'll do a 5-hour Saturday with a meal, let people come, we'll have tutors there, we'll have that equipment, we'll have a quiet place for them to work, and it turned into a Saturday and a Sunday program, and then it turned into a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday program. But the students kept coming, they were extraordinarily committed, and it worked. I think of the first semester grades on English, we had every single one earn credits. And I think of that, yes, please. Some of them are here. And I think 13 of the kind of 19 regulars made the president's list. So I'm not sure they've all gotten their grades. If they have gotten their grades, they haven't reported to us yet, but I think that spring will be as good or even better. So thank you to our staff who anticipated this and did that work. We also saw some other impacts, some social and emotional issues among many of our families and really in the community, in the neighborhood, and also there was a lot of vaccine hesitancy. And so working on those two, I'll start with the vaccine hesitancy first. We were able to partner with Catholic Charities and hire 2 outreach workers who worked on the north side, worked among our families, educating them about it. When someone said they were ready to go, drive them there, remind them about their follow-up. And so Hasina Adams, maybe you could just wave wherever you are. Hasina was one of those outreach workers, but also kind of led the project. So we had success. It was handful by handful, but and that actually is continuing. We've got about another month on that, and then we also were able to really ramp up. I think the saying is a picture says 1,000 words, and I think if you've had a chance to look around this room, we have some gorgeous pictures physically, some gorgeous pictures in the videos that you've been watching, and these are all part of some humanities and art programs that SU has really produced for us, and we saw lots of positive impacts on the youth that were able to participate. So I'd like to thank Jessica and Victor, who ran a PAL project. They told me, please. Photography and literacy was a historic program, and we used to say, okay, maybe it's middle school girls' turn this semester or elementary boys. And when Jessica and Victor took this over and revived the program, they said, well, maybe we could have a mixed group, different ages and other things. And I was like, okay. And then she said, what about little pals, which are 4 to 6-year-olds? So are you sure? And they said they were sure, and they were so right. Some of the most beautiful photos here are from kindergartners. So I do encourage you later to take a look around at what these youth produced. And it always has a writing component to it, too. So it's learn photography, manipulate the images, but always have a writing prompt along with it. So that, and I think people are aware of the radio storytelling program, and you know, we have a couple of STEM programs, and these, and then Write Out is a relatively new creative writing program focused on middle school students. And so, Jacob, where are you? Jacob, way in the back. At each table, you should see a copy of the Write Out book, the most recent publication of the work. Write Out is not only at the Northside Learning Center, it's a number of other agencies as well. But we've seen really, really, really positive results. That's just a couple of images in the radio, and I see Teddy Paniagua here, who's hosting an exhibit from the radio at La Casita. Appreciate that. And then the PAL project finished off the year with an outdoor show on the side of the Everson. So that's what's pictured here. And then there's a civic engagement piece too. Many of the students who participate in these programs just seem to get kind of their feet under them and find their voice. And so a number of them in a new speech and debate team have been doing some advocacy at the Syracuse City School District, in particular asking for somebody who shares their experience, who can be their advocate in each high school, and also advocating for cultural responsiveness training for staff. And so that's what you see pictured you know, behind me here. And I do just want to mention one in particular who did the Narradio Fellowship in the COVID year with virtual participation, Rayan Muhammad, who's about to graduate from Henniger High School, but did this as a sophomore, became really, really engaged. Really engaged in video, and is also in leadership of the speech and debate team. And Rayan's resume took a whole lot of polish in this past year. She was named by Mayor Walsh to the Onondaga County City of Syracuse Youth Commission. She entered a beautiful video, a historical video on Malcolm X, which won first prize in New York State's History Day competition regionally. She's really been the force behind the advocating for an advocate. She was selected by Syracuse.com as one of Central New York's best and brightest. One of only two from Syracuse City School District. So, Rayan. So those are the kind of the results that we're really seeing, and they really make a difference. So I hope you get a chance to visit some more of that, talk to some of the students that are here, and we'll move on. Oh yeah, resilience. We turned on our heat in November. Well, we tried to turn on our heat in November, and the boiler was pronounced lifeless. But again, you know, staff responded, students responded. We didn't use a lot of photos today of people with their hoods on and their masks on and trying to stay warm with temporary heaters. But the community really responded to us again. And so National Grid stepped up and paid for the equipment through a grant and some rebates. Two of the foundations immediately said, you know, we're here to help, and made donations. And so it took about a month to raise the money. Look, Hussein, are you? It just died. Oh. Yeah. So now we have two new energy efficient boilers replacing the old one. At the same time, we were able to remove the old boiler, and so we're back in business. But it just spoke to me again how much the community, I think, respects and supports the Northside Learning Center, but also how people work their way through these things. We were in the beginnings of some conversations about some other improvements to the building. We've been wanting to get an elevator for a long time. The building's not accessible, and had begun some of the planning work on that, and then we obviously bumped the new boiler up to the top of the list, but we are in fact continuing to think about some improvements to the building, and we're very, excited about it. Senator John Mannion has put us into the budget. It's called SAM money, and so I think he's giving us a good start. We had begun some other plans, and I'm also happy to report that one of our guests here tonight is a woman named Mara Mulligan, who's come on board to help guide and advise us through that process. So, Mara, thank you so much. And we have a couple of other projects kind of midstream right now. We're doing a floor renovation project, and we're about halfway through that. So a quick look at our finances. It's been really a couple of years of growth here, not only in the total budget of the organization, but also some of the diversity of our funding sources, which is always important. And as Yusuf Sol mentioned earlier, every healthy nonprofit also needs those unrestricted funds to kind of make these grant programs work. So we were able to get some Alliance for Economic Inclusion money that not only helped support our college preparation and college support program, but also a pretty unique workforce training initiative where we were helping people whose first language is not English prepare for and pass kind of an entrance exam to enter formal workforce trainings, and then provide our regular kind of services to them throughout that process. And so far it's gone quite well. I already told you about how well the college prep and the college support program has gone. So this was just kind of staying with what we do best, identifying folks, helping them find their dreams, and then supporting them. In many ways, they had to improve their English a little bit. This was often those who came to the U.S. too old for high school and may or may not be pursuing a GED, but needing stronger skills to be eligible for work in the trades or work in manufacturing and some other arenas. So that's also gone quite well. So. And then I guess, we're pretty entrepreneurial, both programmatically, but also now financially. And so one of the other things we've been working on, and our students have been really playing a key role in, is a construction company who has been donating scrap metal to us. Some of it goes straight to the recycler, but the stuff that has more value comes to us, and our students are processing it. So copper wire with a coating on it is worth, a very small amount if you take it to the recycler that way. If you strip the coating off of it, now the value of it more than doubles. And so that's been a really good, I think, both financially really good for us, some more unrestricted revenue, but I think our students have also worked very hard and gotten some enjoyment about their contribution to help make the organization healthier financially. And then since the beginning, partnerships have always been, absolutely key. We were all volunteer for our first 6 years. Partnered with the higher ed institutions kind of out of the gate, but also with many, many, many others. And so when we generate a list, there's usually anywhere from 25 to 30 different organizations that we partner with in one way or another. And so I just wanted to highlight a couple of newer partnerships that also we're very, very excited about. One is some work with Vera House, and we have a couple of staff members from Vera House here, George Kilpatrick, and doing a train-the-trainer model where Vera House came in, trained some of our young adults to deliver a Men of Strength club, help young people, middle school and high school, understand masculinity and femininity, and with an eye towards reducing bullying, reducing domestic violence, all of those things. So we're really excited. We have a group going on right now with middle school boys that's going quite well, and this again was led by our young adults who participated in the training. So those are also the kind of things that we would never be able to do on our own, but we have a location, we have good people, and through partnership, many, many great things happen. Interfaith Works has been a long, long time partner, but I do want to just mention one current thing that I think really speaks to the resilience of a number of agencies. Olive Sapuma is here. Thank you, Olive, for being here. And I think you're all aware that a good number of Afghan refugees have been coming. Many of them, since they didn't go through the formal process, it takes a while to get into school, much, much longer than somebody who's been vetted overseas. So we started to have adults coming in for English, and their children are sitting home a lot of the day. And they also have to get acclimated. So in partnership with Interfaith Works, we started a daytime class for those students until they're enrolled, and they can participate in our evening programs after they get enrolled into public school. And so we're really looking forward to continuing that going forward, and just happy that organizations like Interfaith Works reach out and want to partner with us. So, and then the last two things I'll mention, Jubilee Homes, despite their name, does a lot of work in the workforce prep arena. We've been partnering with them quite a bit. But in the last couple of years, what else has really grown for us is partnerships with CNY Works, Summer Youth Employment, and also with the Allen Foundation-sponsored B. Gonzalez Summer Fellowship Program. And both of those have put money into families' households with great need, gave them a chance to attend academic programs with us and career exploration and get introduction into the world of work. And so CNY Works tends to be high school and even like sophomore and up through 20 years old. And the B. Gonzalez Summer Fellowship gives smaller stipends to younger children. But it's made our summer programs larger than they'd ever been before, and I think more effective because they're hybrid. There's some education as well as some work experience. And so we're excited that that's going to continue again and grow again. So, and then a couple of more photos that speak 1,000 words. So thank you very much.
How we feeling? We good? Yeah, everyone's staying with me? Beautiful. So as Mr. Mark eloquently told you, there's so much work that's happening at the Northside Learning Center. Let me paint you a picture, right? You walk in through the door and there's someone sitting there waiting to give you a mask, to give you hand sanitizer, just anything that you need, right? You walk in and downstairs there's probably 3 different programs happening. And then you walk up the stairs and you see Miss S, who's always in her room, and there's always just magically a student that she's helping. And then you go down the down the hallway, and Mr. Mark is in his room, and there's more clubs and things going on, and then you go upstairs and Miss Philly's there, and the little kids are like running through the hallway, and then you go into another classroom and you see the middle school girls. And it's like in every single space that you go in, there's this shared experience of like, we're here to learn, we're here to help each other, and it's open arms. So what you're donating to, what you are giving your money to and your time to, is not just a center. It's not just this person or that person, but a community and hope and resilience in life. So thank you, Mr. Mark, for coming up here. That was beautiful. Like, the work that you're doing is just amazing. And I ask that you all open your hearts and your bank accounts and help fund a little bit more of the North Side. So you can do that by pointing your cameras at the QR code that's on your table right now. It's going to send you to a link, and you can do what you need to do there. There's also little slips on the tables themselves, and you can fill that out. And even if you're not giving money, you can give your time. You can give your energy. You can share a post. You can talk to the individuals here and just inspire and, soil the seeds that we're planting. Contribute in any way that you can. And for those that's online streaming, there is a QR. There's a link in the description box. So if you click to that, it'll take you to the GoFundMe page, and you can contribute in that way. I thank you all for your kindness and your generosity. It's so much appreciated. So next up, we'll have a message from Iman Abdul Sabur, who has some exciting news.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Imanu Abdul Sabur, and I'm here to present this year's Abdul Sabur Family Incentive Award on behalf of Yasmin and Dawood Abdul Sabur, as well as the greater Abdul Sabur family. This award goes to one of 4 finalists selected by the Northside Learning Center. Each of these finalists are individuals and teams that have presented a dedication as well as a plan as to how they would use this award to advance themselves, as well as the Northside Learning Center's mission. The Northside Learning Center has been a great asset to our communities in providing guidance and services to those who need it most. This is an effort that takes commitment, it takes dedication, and just as the Northside Learning Center has been an asset to our communities, the greatest asset to the Northside Learning Center is in fact you. Each of you listening and each of you finalists are the greatest assets the Northside Learning Center can have. The finalists here that were presented to us represent the results as well as the future of the Northside Learning Center's mission. So with that said, this year's award goes to Habiba Noor. Congratulations, Habiba. We hope that this incentive award helps you advance your goals, and I look forward to hearing about all the accomplishments. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Congratulations, Habiba! Congratulations, that's amazing. I hope that brings you ease and it can help you achieve all the goals that you have set for yourself. To present this award, I would like to invite last year's recipient up to the podium, Emmanuel Yonis.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Emmanuel Johannes. I came to United States 3 years ago, 3 years and 6 months ago. I graduated from Nariham High School, then went to OCC to get my associate degree in engineering science. Then I transferred to Syracuse University. Now I'm doing my bachelor's degree in Syracuse University to get my mechanical engineering. On my extra time, I help student tutor in math in Northside Learning Center. So especially for those students who came from different country, whose like English is their second language, it's really hard to study maths when you have better in language. So then I was fortunate to. Last year, I was fortunate to win the Abdul Sabur Family Initiative Award This award has reminded me that there is a lot of people behind me who helped me, like directly and indirectly. The scholarship has helped me to buy school supplies and transportation. Um, this pushed me to continue my career goals while helping the community as much as I can. Um, so now it's my pleasure to introduce our 2022 award winner, Habiba Noor.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Habiba Noor. I am from Somalia, but I was born in Kenya. I came here 9 years ago. Attended GED 2017, graduated 2019, and then attended OCC at that fall. Right now, last December, I finished OCC and got my associate degree. Right now, I'm an ENL teacher, English second language. I'm so happy to win this award. Thanks to Sabur family and Northside Learning Center. Thank you, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Congratulations. So next up, sorry, let me just get this in order. Beautiful. Yep. So next up, I'd like to introduce Mr. Mark once again, who's going to be giving us some special details.
Definite theme here, right? And we're seeing a lot of Onondaga Community College folks doing amazing things. And and just before I get to the introduction, I do just need to say that, the GED for American-born folks is usually a long road. And for Habiba to do that in that short amount of time and then move right on is truly incredible, and also just a testament to her diligence, her ability to be organized, to work, and obviously she's very smart too. But anyway, that's pretty amazing. So at this time, about 4 years ago, Yasmin Abdul Sabur was a board member. She worked most of her career for the city school district and did family engagement. And so we had been asking her to join the board, and she kept saying, when I retire, when I retire, when I retire. True to her word, she did join our board and really helped us grow as an organization and in many ways our program. So she was relocating to Baltimore, Maryland, and we decided that she's the kind of person that I think epitomizes the work of Northside Learning Center. So we honored her with an award for exemplary community service, and then decided to name it for her. And again, people around town who've been here for a while know who Michelle Yasmin Abdul Sabur is. And so it's really our only service award, and we take it very seriously. I think we have one of the other winners in the room, probably hiding behind the curtain, Hussein Euro. Are you still there, Hussein? Can you come out and wave? And last year, thank you. And last year's award went to Angela Douglas, who's co-executive director of the Vera House. And so this year, it didn't take the committee long to settle on who our honoree would be, especially when we heard that Dr. Casey Crable was retiring from OCC after nearly a decade of just amazing service. And before I even met her, I knew that the board had done the right thing because I started hearing these stories about, what her goals and aspirations were. I heard these things about, you drive up and down South Avenue and, that's who our students are, right? That's who our students are. And so even before I met Casey, I had a lot of admiration, and she's exceeded all of my expectations. I would say that the Onondaga Community College has become one of the most student-centered, student-responsive colleges that I've ever encountered. And yeah, please. And it's also a beautiful facility, beautiful partnerships. We do a annual college introduction and college preparation program. Started actually by Hasina Adams after she finished at OCC. So anyway, we couldn't, and I think as Yusuf said, it is the premier, it is the spot for most of our students, and many, many go on to 4 years, some go on to certificates and right into the workforce. But we really, truly value and appreciate the work, the transformational work that you've done at OCC. And so I'm going to find the award, but I'm going to invite one of our students up to actually hand that over to you. Hamdi Farah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hamdi Farah. I just completed my studies at SUNY Oswego, but before that, I was attending. Thank you. But before that, I was attending Onondaga Community College, and OCC had gave me the confidence and prepared me to transfer into a four-year college, and because of all the hard work, and because of Dr. Crable for President Crable for making OCC a student center for all of us, I was able to get my bachelor's from SUNY Oswego. So I would like to take this time to thank President Crable and for all her hard work in making OCC a student center for all of us. So as a token of appreciation, we would like to give you these flowers. Thank you.
So thank you. It's really wonderful to be here with you this evening. I really appreciate being invited to be at this special event, to speak to you. I have just over a month to go before I retire, and I haven't decided yet if that means I'm getting new tires. That was an interesting idea. I'm going to think about it. But I'm really thrilled that this is one of the final events I'll speak at as president of OCC. Shortly after I got here, 9 years ago, I started hearing about the Northside Learning Center and the amazing work that was being done there, and the way in which you gave people a place where they could feel safe and learn and grow together. And I love that the speakers have talked about that community, because certainly I've seen that community over and over again over the time I've been here. So when I thought about what to say, really what I want to do is tell some stories back to you about things that have happened between OCC and the Northside Learning Center. People, some of whom are in this room, I'm going to give you their stories back, because I think that's a powerful reminder of the work that happens and what it can mean for people. But I would really like to start, if we could just give a big round of appreciation for Mark Cass. Yeah. At OCC, we like to tell people that community is our middle name. Onondaga Community College, it literally is our middle name. And your support for the students at the Northside Learning Center has made both the Central New York community and our community at OCC a better place. So I'm going to share some stories of students who developed and grew at the Northside Learning Center, then came to OCC, and I really want you to see their faces. Oh. I am not good at technology. Anyone who knows me will tell you that. There we go. But I want to tell these stories as a way of inspiring you to continue to make the kind of difference that you're making. So this is Fida and Nita Aljabaran on the day they graduated from OCC in 2020. Because of COVID, we had to have a drive-through graduation ceremony, and we had to do it 3 months later than normal. But when you look at their faces, you can see that none of that really mattered. The Aljabaran family, which included 2 parents and 9 children, moved to the United States in 2016. Arabic was their native language. Fida and Nita mastered English by going to the Northside Learning Center. They graduated from PSLA at Fowler in 2018, and 2 years later, graduated from OCC. Earlier this month, Fida received her bachelor's degree in respiratory therapy from SUNY Upstate Medical University. She'll start working at SUNY Upstate this summer. And Nita just completed her bachelor's degree in biology at Syracuse University. She's just beginning to apply to medical school, plans to take a gap year and work at Upstate on different projects that focus on refugee health. You did that. Our next smiling face belongs to Emmanuel Johannes, who came to the United States from Ethiopia in 2018. He liked to tell us once he arrived in Syracuse that the Northside Learning Center was where he felt the most at home. He attended Nottingham High School for 1 year, then came to OCC, where he was an outstanding student in our engineering science program. He had a gift for explaining difficult things in simple terms, and he regularly returns to the Northside Learning Center, where he tutors students in math. At OCC, he was a member of our Honor Society and earned something called a Pinnacle Award, which we give to 9 students each year, only 9 out of thousands, for their service and for their work with their fellow students. Emmanuel completed his OCC degree last year and is now, as you heard, a student at Syracuse University. He's a Northside Learning Center success story, and you did that. Technology hates me. Yes, I cannot get it to advance.
Okay.
Thank
Let me
you.
just take it and I'll just do it from my
Thank
table.
you. The next student I want to tell you about is Wilo. She came to the United States from Kenya in 2015, and just like with Fida and Nita and Emmanuel, the Northside Learning Center immediately became her home and her safe place. She graduated from Henninger High School in 2019 and came to OCC, where she was one of our best students. Wilo was a member of our Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and earned her Human Services degree last year. She was the first person in her family to earn a college degree, and as the oldest sibling, she gave her sisters a wonderful role model to look up to. Today, Wilo is continuing to be a role model. She just completed her first year at the University of Buffalo, where she is majoring in health and human services with a concentration in child and family studies. Your support of the Northside Learning Center gave Wilo and her family a path to a better life. You did that. Thank you. I'd like to talk a little bit about Abshir Yarrow. He's a native of Kenya who came to the United States in 2009. Stop me if you've heard this before, but the Northside Learning Center was the place where everything came together for him. He learned English, and he had a community there he could call home. Abshir graduated from Nottingham High School in 2016 and planned to play soccer at OCC that fall. But while he was preparing for the season, he broke his hand. Because soccer is a surprisingly physical sport, he knew he needed to find a different one. A friend suggested they run cross country just to stay in shape. During the summer, he ran 30 to 40 miles a week and competed in just about any race he could find. His hard work paid off a few months later when he won a national championship at OCC, finishing first in the 5-mile race. Abshir would continue his criminal justice degree at OCC and transfer to SUNY Delhi, where he earned another national championship and completed his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. The persistence and the work ethic that we remember from Abshir is a common thread in all these students' stories, along with the support that they received from the Northside Learning Center. You did that. Hamdi Farah. 2 decades ago, she and her sister walked from their home in Somalia to a refugee camp in Kenya with the dream of one day coming to the United States. Finally, in 2009, Hamdi and her sister arrived here. The Northside Learning Center is where they learned English and felt most comfortable. Hamdi earned a humanities degree at OCC and transferred to SUNY Oswego, where she just told you she completed her bachelor's degree. Next, a master's is underway, and a job teaching English as a new language is in sight. Hamdi's success story would not be possible without the many people who support the Northside Learning Center. Thank you. And finally, Hasina Adams, a student who has become a true leader within the Northside Learning Center community. Hasina grew up in South Africa, and in 2014, her mother passed away. 2 years later, Hasina immigrated to the United States with her 2 younger siblings and would become their legal guardian. Shortly after arriving in Syracuse, they started going to, you guessed it, the Northside Learning Center. They weren't in school yet. They just wanted to meet people and find a community they could call home. They did, and they kept coming back. While Hasina was a student at OCC, she was also teaching middle school-age girls 3 nights a week at the Northside Learning Center. She helped them with their homework and focused on subjects they were struggling in. Despite the demands of her own life in being a college student and raising 2 siblings, I never for a minute witnessed Hasina stopping giving to others, and I don't think I ever saw her without a smile. Hasina graduated from OCC in 2017 with a degree in general studies. She was a member of our Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, the Collegiate Science and Technology Entry Program, the History Club, and the International Club, and I was pleased to be there when she received the SUNY's Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence, the very highest honor which can be bestowed on any SUNY student. During her final semester on the OCC campus, Hasina presented our Diversity Council with a list of school supplies that really would be useful to the Northside Learning Center. Our campus community responded, and we delivered a carload of supplies, including dictionaries, encyclopedias, math, maps, electric pencil sharpeners. Hasina would transfer to Syracuse University, but would remain connected to the Northside Learning Center, where she continued to teach and mentor students, and she would remain connected to OCC. Last year, Hasina graduated from Syracuse University magna cum laude with honors with a degree in international relations and a minor in political science. She spent the last year working at the Northside Learning Center as a program coordinator of the Economic Mobility and Quality of Life program, a workforce training program that helps new Americans pursue careers in general construction, manufacturing, and healthcare. And this past Monday, she started a new job at Hiscox Legal, where she is a legal aide in their immigration department, because she plans to go to law school in 2023 and ultimately become a lawyer who advocates for refugees. Congratulations to you, Hasina, and to all of the students. I wanted to spend my time giving you these stories back because I think they illustrate the importance of the work that the Northside Learning Center does and the deep connections that have been built with places like OCC, not just OCC, but places like OCC, to make sure that the pathway for students is safe and secure, and they can take what they learn and go as far as they can. So to each of you in this room who support the Northside Learning Center, I thank you. I thank you because look at the students I got to know. What an amazing gift you've given all of us. And I hope that you will continue your support in future years, because the best part of supporting the Northside Learning Center is you can see the difference you're making. You've seen it tonight, and I know you will continue to see it in future years. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful talk. And although you got an award, we see how you then deflected and gave us everyone else as you humbly come up here. That was beautiful. I even learned more about Hasina. You're amazing. Like, what? And you see again, when you're in rooms with these fantastic people, you can do nothing but be fantastic, right? Because it's always a hand being pulled up and you're taking the next people with you. So thank you all. And again, you see the work and what your money is getting into. Again, I would like to remind you that the QR code is on your table, so you can go ahead and scan it. It's going to take you to the link. And for all those that are watching on the live stream, the link is in the description box. You can go ahead and click on that. Perfect. All my stuff got messed up now. Okay, perfect. Again, thank you all for your time and your effort and your patience. Next up, I'll be calling up Asia. She's an amazing, amazing human being, and every time you walk into the room, even before she was an associate director, you would always see her with the adults teaching, and anytime you went into her room, it wasn't just them. It was like, okay, you could come in too, and I'll help you with whatever you need help with. So we'll be hearing a little bit from her and all the students that she kind of touched in her time at the Northside Learning Center. So please give it up for Asia.
Hello, thank you all again. I mean, we can't thank you enough for being here tonight. It means so much just to see you all's faces and for you to just be here. I'm very speechless. And I also want to say thank you for welcoming me into this beautiful community. I moved here recently from California, coming on 3 years ago, I suppose. And just the pure sincerity I've seen from the people that make Northside Learning Center is just unbelievable. So before I get a bit teary-eyed, I want to bring up some of our incredible students. So we've been telling you about them, but I want you to hear from some of the day-to-day students that you're really directly supporting with your donations and your time and your love. So first up, I'd like to bring Mr. Mohammed Sharif Jafari. He's a high school student from Corcoran who just started there last month pretty much, and he's also a recent arrival with some of his siblings from Afghanistan from the recent difficulties going on there, and he's just an amazing, brilliant student, so I'll let you hear from him. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to here. I am Mohammed Sharif Jafari, and I came in United States about 9 months ago, and I am a student at Corcoran High School and Northside Learning Center. So I am thankful to the U.S. government and people, and they welcomed us to the U.S. I would like to share some words of my experience when I come in the United States, especially here in Syracuse. So when I come in Syracuse City, it was really strange for me, and I was not feeling good. I needed to stay home about 3 months. So, but fortunately, I was introduced to Northside Learning Center by someone. It opened my way to get out of my house. After I started learning here, I found Northside Learning Center an amazing place because the teachers that I have and all the staff here are really kind-hearted and helpful. As English is not my native language, I had really difficulty with it, but the help of Northside Learning Center, now I can easily communicate through English language, and at the same time, they help me with using the computer. In addition, when I have any problem with any school assignment, this center is the best place for me and solve it intelligent teachers in this center. This center helped me to start my networking, and I was introduced to many amazing people, and also this is the center where I was introduced to CNY Works. And hopefully I will go to CNY Works and to job market. So finally, I want to thankful from Northside Learning Center, and I think it is so important for places like Northside Learning Center to help refugees become comfortable in their new lives here in America. Finally, I need to say that organizations like the Northside Learning Center and their community partners play a big role in helping refugees. I want to talk this time to thank the Northside Learning Center community partners for their support. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sharif. Beautiful job. And also thank you to his teacher, Miss Style and Miss Molly, for helping him with that as well. They're also an amazing part of our team. Thank you. And next we have the very shy Miss Faizo Ali. She's a 5th grade elementary student and would love to come share a few words about her experience at Northside Learning Center. Let's give her a big encouraging round of applause.
Hi, my name is Faizo, and what I like about Northside Learning Center is there's some great people, and when you need help with anything, you always ask the teachers, and they'll help you with anything you want. And there's some great-hearted people that, like one time, Miss S, I didn't have a ride, and she said she can take me home, and then I said yes, and then my mom came, and I said thank you for trying to take me home, and then I thanked her, and she left, and I left. Finished.
Thank you all so much for that encouragement. She's really one of the brightest sparkles in the elementary school classroom. With her teacher Mona is back there too, a beautiful person. Thank you. And next we have Miss Nurto Isak. And as you can see, a small tribe around her, many of whom are actually her kids, who also come to the Northside Learning Center at the same time with her. And you'll see some of them have cameras around their neck. They're part of the PAL photography project as well, and there's their teachers back there. So Nurtu, I think, is a shining example of what the Northside Learning Center is really about in terms of being a family-based model. So not only are we here to serve kids or adults, we're here to serve whole families at the same time, and Nurtu is a perfect example of that. So she'll share a few words. Thank you.
Hello everybody. My name is Nur Isaac. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Hello everybody. My name is Nur Isaac. Northside Learning Center. My kid homework help. Mom no English good. Thank you. Thank you for Instagram.
Oh, do you want to say hi? Hi. We got one more, I guess.
Hi. Yeah.
You want to come right here? You want to say something? Hello? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming, Ikra. Or you want to stay with me? Okay, I think she wants to stay with me for a second. Another big sweetie pie. But thank you, Nurto. That was amazing. Yeah, Nurto is your mom. All right, next I would like to invite Mr. Jacob Gedetsis and an amazing poet, Miss Fatma Mohammed. Thank you, sweetie. I'm gonna hold
I want to speak.
Okay, in a second. So just a little bit about Jacob. He is, oh yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Sorry, Jacob he volunteers with us and is a longtime partner of ours. He's a SUNY ESF professor as well as the director of their writing center and the founder of Write Out, which is a creative writing program for middle schoolers that takes place partly in our center as well as other centers, and is truly just an incredible thing to witness as I pass by in the hallway sometimes, but I'll let him tell you more about that. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Lucia, for that kind introduction, and for Mark, Cass, and for everybody for being here today. My name is Jacob Gedetsis, and I am the co-founder and director of Write Out, a community writing collective that partners university students, local artists, and writers with after-school spaces to hold year-round, weekly creative writing workshops. When writing in school, we are often told what's wrong with our compositions. A white page bleeds with red ink. Oh no, oh yeah, okay. A white page bleeds with red ink after our teacher marks it. This type of critique can push a student to learn the basics of grammar and punctuation, of argument and analysis, but sometimes it also creates a negative relationship with writing. If you're always told your writing is wrong or bad, then maybe you fall out of love with the art of it, with its ability to tell a story or express a feeling. During our write-out sessions, we don't fret over a misplaced comma or a dangling modifier. We encourage our students to write whatever they want in whatever language they want, to spin silly make-believe stories and write heartfelt reflections about their families and communities. When we first met, these young writers were already storytellers, at home, online, at school lunches, and we just wanted to provide tools and time for them to pen their own stories on their own terms, without fear of that dreaded red pen. We've worked for and with the Northside Learning Center middle school students for the last 2 years. In those 2 years, we've met more than 100 times to express our feelings, to let our imaginations fly, and to share in community around art and storytelling. In those 2 years, the young writers have written and published their poems on broadsides displayed at museums and chapbooks distributed across the city. In those 2 years, they've endured and persevered through school closures and virtual learning. And all along, the Northside Learning Center was there to support them and their families with open doors and classrooms, to provide a safe, nurturing, and loving space in a nation and world reckoning with itself. Spending time with these young writers has provided me with a guiding light of hope during the darkest 2 years in recent history. I watch the news and often feel helpless when I see the spaces that are supposed to be safe, our schools, our grocery stores, our places of worship, filled with fear and sorrow. In the face of this fear, in the face of this helplessness, there's hope in the words, poems, and stories of these young writers in spaces like the Northside Learning Center. Just this past Thursday, during our write-out session, we talked about hope in the face of this fear. The young writers reflected on a range of worries: an upcoming math test, the transition to high school, climate change, the recent shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde. In their writing, they asked hard questions. Am I doing enough for my family, community, and nation? What can I do? They expressed their fears and offered their sadness. I feel scared. I am scared. But in spite of their fears, they wrote of hope. But I know I will be okay, and no matter what happens, I still slay. I've learned so much from these incredible writers. In these past 2 years, they've taught me to be a kinder, more open educator, writer, and person. Hope is a funny, uniquely human thing, and there's so much hope that reverberates in the halls of the Northside Learning Center. It's the hope I see and feel as the young writers I work with venture a line, a syllable, an utterance, clawing at the thing we are always clawing toward: more love, more understanding, more connection with ourselves, with our community, and with our city, state, and nation. It's a hope that I see in this room with people that care and value a space like the Northside Learning Center, which grows hope like a gardener tends to a seed with tender love and attention. I feel so lucky to be a small, small part of this incredible work at the Northside. and what they do every day for our community. Thank you all for supporting the Northside Learning Center and for being here today. I encourage you all to continue supporting this transformative space of hope in our community today and beyond. It is now my distinct honor to introduce one of the amazing poets that I get to work with every week that inspires me and gives me hope for a better tomorrow. Fatma Muhammad, everyone.
Hello, I'm Fatma Muhammad. I am 13 years old and a member of Right Out. Northside Learning Center is like the tree that grows in the middle of my neighborhood, the one we call home base. We ring the doorbell every afternoon, knowing the opportunities we have, even if we don't speak or look the same. The joy I get knowing that one day I'll create a vision with PAL projects and write stories with Write Out the Next and be the next woman in STEM with Girls Who Code. They have taught me no matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always change and become a better version of yourself. Thank you.
Give it up, little sis! Ha! She did that. That was amazing. That was incredible. Thank you all so much. That is the closing of our program. Thank you for staying with me throughout all of this. This is working? Okay, perfect. Please don't hesitate to come up to anyone that you saw up on the podium or even to just people at your tables. Let's create community beyond just these four walls and beyond just the Northside Learning Center itself, because that's what it is, right? Community. Thank you all. So Maghrib prayer will be in a room that Mr. Mark will definitely be showing us. But thank you all so much and have a great rest of your night. Where's Mr. Mark? Is he?